part 17. We're working with bassline number 16 in the Dubstep Glitch Hop Power course. My name's Tom Cosm, and this is the final bassline we're going to be working with today. Now, this one, I'm going to create a MIDI track. We're going to call it Bass 16. This one I want to use just a saw wave like we did previously, but I want to use some phases and some cool spatial stuff just to make it really kind of all over the place, and just trying to get a really rich sound using just a simple pure waveform and some phasing. So I'm going to insert my operator here as usual. Then I'm going to go in. We've got to fill this last little gap up here, because this is the end. We're on bassline 16, so it needs to fill up here. So I'm just going to put in a MIDI clip, go down, put in some notes, and we're working in the D minor scale here. So I'm just using notes in the D minor scale, which is D, F, A, and we'll put the 7 in, which is C. So let's go 1, 2, 3. Just kind of climbing up. I'll make that one an F. Alright, let's bring all that down an octave by selecting all, shift down. And let's turn that into a saw wave. Awesome. Now first thing I'm going to do is group that together, call this sub, call this high, and we'll get rid of those low frequencies and put a sub in at the start. We've been doing it in the end, which is okay, but it'd be good to do this one from the start. So I've dragged in an auto filter, set it to a high pass filter so nothing gets let through on the low end, and set it to about, I don't know, 80 Hertz. So we've got no real sub stuff coming through there. Now we can add in another operator down here. We can rename this to sub. Of course it's a sine wave by default. And we'll use that pitch envelope trick by turning on the pitch envelope, bringing it up to 100%, bringing the decay time short, and bringing the peak up. Decay time a bit bigger. So we've got that kind of defining sound. Now if we go back to the highs, we're just going to use a pure saw wave here. I'm going to use a phaser. So a phaser is kind of similar to a flanger. It uses filters to kind of create a phase shift in the waveforms and the frequencies. Sorry, a phase shift in the frequencies. So it gives it a kind of a much richer sound than a flanger, I believe. So if we just play with this frequency, again, we set the feedback kind of, this is kind of the whiny parameter. I usually set this about 80 or somewhere around here. The frequency is kind of where the magic happens to me. Excellent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick different increments of this that sound cool. There's one. So I'm going to group this together. So we've got a phaser and a rack. We'll call this, we'll rename these in a second. So that's my first one. Let's duplicate that. How many notes we've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's do this 8 times. So this one, bit higher frequency. Duplicate it. That one, bit higher. Duplicate it. Bit higher. Duplicate it. Bit higher. Duplicate it. Bit higher. How many have we got? Duplicate it. Bit higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and one more with a higher frequency. So now if we go into our chain selector, and remember we did this before, we can pick, we can set these little 1-1 increments to different parts of the chain selector, so they're only going to play when the chain selector, this little orange dude is over top of it. We've got one more, what have I done? Okay, we've fucked that up. So I wonder if I could select all of these and move them across one. Oh, Ableton, you're amazing. Okay, so there we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we can go into the pen tool and let's pick one each of these. I don't want to go sequentially through them because that would be quite boring. So where's our chain selector? There it is. So we'll set that back to 0. Here's the line that corresponds to the chain selector, and it's given us nice grids. So we can use the pen tool here. Let's make the grid the same size as the notes, so it's easier. So we'll go 1. Let's do a similar kind of pattern that we did before. So what I was doing, I was going up the D minor, I was going up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I was kind of jumping a step and then going down to that step, jumping a step, going down. Let's do the same here. So I'm going to go up 2, back 1, up 2, back 1, up 2, back 1, up 2. So I don't know if this will sound any good. What's that on? 5. Why is that on 5? Hang on. What's that one? 0, 2. What's that one on? 5. Where have I screwed up? I've done something wrong. Okay, I need to jump 2 here and go to here, and then jump 2 here and go to here, and then jump 2 here. That's quite cool. And I'm going to change some of these notes very quickly. Whoops. No, I'm going to leave it how it is. Come on, Tom. Alright, and let's add one more thing after here. So we've got that, that, and that. Let's put a ping pong delay afterwards. Remember, we used this for the old spatial effects by turning the sync off and changing the time in milliseconds. Bringing this up as big as we can go. Oh, we need to put this after the rack, which has the phasing in it, or else we're going to do this to the sub, which we don't want. That's pretty intense. Bring the feedback down. This is, you know, how long the delay lasts for. This is how short the distance between the delays are, and this is how long it lasts for. Awesome. This is going to be fun. So I'm going to right click on that ping pong and group it as well, and I'm going to do the same thing I did as the phasing. So I'm going to have chain 1, good. Chain 2, let's bring the time up just a little bit. Chain 3. So the time is how short the delays are. And because they're so short and it's delaying from left to right, each one of these different lengths, these small lengths, is going to have a very different spatial effect. It's going to split it somewhere else. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. And we'll make this one up one more. So, back to our chain selector, like before. Oops, that's not it. Chain selector. Let's go 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And I hope this gives you a really good idea of how powerful racks are and the kind of shit you can do with it. I've done the same thing again. So we need to go 1, 2. There we go. No, we don't. We need to go back 1. So just giving them their own little increment. So awesome. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this line, which is the chain selector of that spatial stuff. And let's do the same kind of thing. Let's go up 2, down 1, up, whoops, up 2, down 1, up 2, down 1, up 2. Actually, no, let's kind of make them random. Get those sounds coming from all over the place. I'll use that one. I don't know why I haven't used 1, 2, 3. That one. And that one. Let's change the feedback of these. I'm going to bring the feedback up. Remember, if we right click and go copy value to siblings, it'll copy the amount that you've set on one parameter to the same parameter within all of the things in your chain. If you've got the same devices within your chain, you can go copy to siblings. What if we do lots of feedback? Copy to siblings? Maybe not. That's quite cool, so let's hear that in contrast to everything else. Let's listen to it from the start. She started at 32 bars, get rid of the pen tool, click at the start, and let's go. Cool. I'm still going to change these notes. I'm not quite happy with how they are, because make it kind of a jazz blues kind of. And even shorten these and make them a little bit. And add the swing to it, of course. And we have one more here. What if we do this? What if Tom? No. Okay, let's leave it at that. And that's baseline 16. I'm happy with that. So now we need to... are we in groups? Yeah, we are in groups. Great. So let's just call this phased. Cool. And that's the 16 baselines. Right. So the next one, we're going to actually get into the nitty-gritty and really fuck with these and make a really cool loop. Not that it's not cool already, but I think we can make it better. So that's going to be the next part. Then we're going to add in some pads, and we might add in some other things, and then we'll finish off by structuring a whole tune. And that's the power course. Alright, cheers. TomCosmic.com.
Fan club, Tom Kosim fan club, Tom Kosim fan club, Tom Kosim fan club.